Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back for your daily crypto news and analysis. And I hope that you are all having a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are out there in the world. Metaco.com is officially sunsetting as of June 7th of this year. So after that, where are we going to go to really kind of learn more about what's happening around custody services? Well, it's going to be on Ripple.com over here at Digital Asset Custody. Access the entire digital asset ecosystem today. Very, very interesting. Listen, as we do know, Metaco is a absolute giant when it comes to institutional money, as well as institutional custody services around this space. But remember that this is crucial infrastructure technology for all those big players out there. And we're talking about those global custodians, universal banks, regulated exchanges, neobanks and fintechs, and even corporates. As we look at this space, it is evolving. I understand that it's very easy to get caught up in the idea of, oh, well, XRP isn't moving at all. And yes, although XRP in the last couple, years, it hasn't really done much, right? I mean, back in 2021, it did about roughly a 16x. That's not a bad move at all, but versus most of the other market, comparing these coins to each other, it's going to be a bad thing. But I do think that XRP will perform very well. But as we do really look at things, I'm more so focused on the long term because there's so much money that is going to be made over the course of the next couple years. You can't afford to not be a part of this Discord. You need to join the free Discord down in the description below, as well as in the comments below right now, to get ahead of the rest of the market with 24/7, 365 access to information around crypto, including insights, trades, altcoin gems, you name it. You need to be a part of this Discord. So what are you waiting for? Click the link down in the description below, as well as in the comments below, to join today. And when I say that, I truly do mean that institutional money, guys, it's going to flow into the space like a tsunami, and it's going to bring with it trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. Now, as we do look at Metaco Harmonize, this is what I mean by infrastructure. Store, trade, transfer, tokenize and manage, connect, and embed. And this is all around Web3. This is all around pretty much all digital assets, regulated and even non-regulated. And it's going to be the infrastructure that these institutions are ultimately building their significant use cases on and tapping into specific things like even liquidity. And we already know that major players are tapped in with Metaco, massive banks. Citibank, for an example, is one of them. And it just goes to show you how big Metaco is and was. And now it's merging into just Ripple. And as we do go over here, we can see scale bespoke business models in new markets with the digital asset economy. Custody is critical to unlocking value, addressing growing demand for new asset classes, and building novel use cases across asset tokenization, stablecoin issuance, trading, staking, and beyond. Our foundational enterprise-grade software infrastructure offers this and more, providing a single source of truth and unified governance framework for securely and scalably managing all digital assets. And it's very interesting because now, as we do start to move towards this, digital world of payments and finance, all of these things become even more important now than ever before, right? Focusing on these connections at this current moment in time could not be more crucial. This is also why, as we talk about things like XRP or HBAR or XLM or any altcoin, I'm always focused on not just the short term, but the long term. And the long term is so important to know because although, in the long term, things are going to take some time to evolve, but that's where most of the money will be made. You might see a lot of people in the short term celebrating their gains off of like AI, hype coins and stuff, but the long term in this market, that is where the future billionaires will be made. And I've always said that. Why industry leaders choose our institutional grade custody platform: security and compliance, agility and flexibility. And this is all through that API first model. That is crucial to focus on. API plug and play. Every single major elite organization out there is talking about API plug and play technology. connectivity and networks, new Web3 use cases as well. And this is where you see tokenized real world assets and beyond. And guess what? We know Ripple is still heavily focused on the XRP ledger, especially through institutional DeFi, which we will talk about. But here we have what's possible with digital asset custody orchestration, global custodians, universal banks, neobanks and fintechs, regulated exchanges, and we can see everything down here around what they're focused on. We're talking about tokenization. We're talking about trading, staking. We're talking about pretty much everything around crypto that you can think of. This is new infrastructure technology. And here we have a report down here, how, when, and where DLT and financial services converge. We know that the new world of finance is going to be created through specific players, and it seems as though Ripple is definitely one of them with the XRP ledger. Now, talking about that, over here we have December 2023. Ripple CTO predicts 2024 surge in real-world asset tokenization on the XRP ledger. There's crucial things to focus on here, like, for example, AI and blockchain convergence, which is a huge thing. Outside of that, we have real-world asset tokenization itself. We have David Schwartz thinks that tokenization of RWAs, particularly in real estate and commodities, is going to drive the blockchain economy significantly, and 100%. When we look at, real estate, guys, it's over a $300 trillion plus asset class in itself. Schwartz foresees tokenized RWAs on the XRP ledger, enhancing collateralized loans, improving interoperability, and attracting institutional adoption. Furthermore, he anticipates this shift to reshape the financial sector, with the XRP ledger positioned as a leading blockchain for these use cases. 100%. And also DID capabilities are coming to the XRP ledger through the XLS 40 amendment. That's also going to be a big thing, right? This is empowered by DIDs in terms of decentralized exchanges. They're expected to see increased institutional volume, which will contribute to growth and liquidity in decentralized finance. Also, interoperability in smart contracts, stablecoins in global finance as well. Yes, everything around this is very significant, and it all pertains back to the XRP ledger, which is something that I always focus on. Now, also over here we have, and this goes back to November 27th, Ripple excites XRP Army as Metaco acquisition brings banks even closer. And this is the focus of Metaco, right? This is the reason why I think that Ripple now having Metaco tapped in, and this being the full focus, right? Because it's all under Ripple now, it's all an umbrella. It takes us even closer to these major banks. Major banks like HSBC, for an example, that are focused on tokenization endeavors. All of this could technically lead back to the XRP ledger and XRP, because we still know that today they are extremely bullish on XRP and even the XRPL. Now, also over here, we have Ripple and Metaco forged $1 trillion tokenization alliance amid XRP market challenges. And, again, as we do look at this, like, it's all fully focused on tokenization. And we know that Ripple right now is heavily looking at the paradigm shift of tokenization. In fact, outside of this, right, like, they've given us the full on tokenization revolution breakdown on part 1, 2, and 3, which is the tokenization economy. We know that this is going to bleed into pretty much everything. We know everything of value will essentially be tokenized at some point in time. Now, also over here, don't forget that just recently Ripple and Zonix brings a multi-asset tokenization platform to the XRP ledger. This is also a very, very big deal. And we've broken this down in the past a little bit, but this is going to truly integrate fully with the XRPL, which is going to bring even more volume, more value to the XRP ledger as well. And I think that this is going to be a game changer. I also think that this is going to change the way, the XRP ledger and even XRP are looked at, because once we start to see tokenization really heating up in a large way, because right now we're in the billions, we're not yet in the trillions. Once we move towards the $1 trillion mark of tokenization, it is game over. That's when a lot of these, networks and a lot of these digital assets like XRP become extremely valuable. Now, are we there yet? Not exactly, which is why I say in the long term, like, XRP holders will be, a part of that new 1%, because I don't see how we're not at that point where, everyone's seeing the same picture, but there's still a very big, there's still a massive divide where you have those that are looking at the short term and saying, like, XRP is not, going to be valuable. There's no point in even holding XRP. But then you also have that percentage, which in my opinion is pretty much around like 1% or even less, that is looking at the space and truly seeing what's happening, even though it's so obvious. But that's why when we really look at XRP and we look at Ripple and we look at what's happening, the long term is it's so insanely bullish, especially even with AI, right? Blockchain is the key that unlocks pretty much all of this. But also, they gave us a little bit of an insight on what's happening around Metaco. This goes back to just recently, April, actually. We have Ripple-Metaco, our platinum sponsors of the Crypto Assets Conference in Frankfurt, April 16th. Institutional adoption of digital assets, the winning formula for a custodial solution. And the conference will provide a platform to discuss the latest developments in digital assets, tokenization, crypto assets, Web3, and plenty more. We look forward to contributing to these developments and sharing an insight into our work, as well as connecting with fellow industry drivers. And Ripple was a platinum sponsor here. But look at the other names here. I don't know if you guys can see them, but it's probably going to be blocked a little bit by the interface. But you have Citi on here, you have HSBC, Deutsche Bank, Goldman Sachs, so many large players in the institutional and banking space. Even KPMG's here, Deloitte. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And it's just crazy to me that these are the types of players that are at these conferences discussing these things around, finance and tokenization. Like here's a little bit of a better list. You have Fidelity there, UBS. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy the types of names that are behind some of these conferences. And it kind of shows you where we're headed. It kind of shows you who's going to be the pioneers of, tokenization and even digital assets. Now, also, listen closely to this. We have Ripple-Metaco will soon announce 2 monsters of banks for its SaaS custody solution. We now have 2 major prospects. I cannot name it, but hopefully you will read it in the present near future. And this is, from Ripple-Metaco at the Crypto Asset Conference in Frankfurt. Check it out.
We now have 2 major prospects. I cannot name it, but hopefully you will read it in the press in the near future. They both of them, and I was really surprised, actually it's free, they're all going for SaaS operating model. And not only for the non-secure components, but also for the secure components. That means their key management system is software as a service. It's no longer on-prem, it's no longer in their cellar, it's no longer in their IT department. And these are real, positively meant monsters of banks. And I was very positively surprised that there is a shift in the thinking into that direction.
So there you guys have it. Now, again, this was back in April. Big shout to XRP drops for this, but check this out as well. Imagine the moment when one of the monster of banks officially announces the collaboration with Ripple and the use of XRP. Brad Garlinghouse explains the hierarchy in the global banking world. Even within the banking community, there's a few banks to kind of sit on the top of the entire global payments infrastructure, and all the other banks end up paying them to help settle the global liquidity that's required. Check it out.
Banking community, there's a few banks that kind of sit on the top of the entire global payments infrastructure, and all the other banks end up paying them to help settle the global liquidity that's required for commerce, for small businesses, for retail. And across the board, it's kind of amazing that we still live in a world where to send money to London today, the fastest thing for you or I to do would be to drive to, well, for you, for SFO, for me here in New York, to JFK or Newark, and fly the money to London.
So there you guys have it. And again, remember, right? Like these major banks, they want to utilize XRP. We've talked about this in the past. Bank of America wants to utilize XRP. These big banks are ready. And it's because they understand the value behind XRP. Now, think about it like this. If one bank was to officially announce the use of XRP, okay, initially, it would be huge for XRP. It would be huge for, the price of XRP, stuff like that. But what a lot of people are missing here is how big that would be for banking. Initially, you might not see a big shift, but once they start to see that bank being extremely successful, changing the game, growing rapidly, because again, the efficiencies and the benefits of tapping into a blockchain service around banking and finance and payments, it is night and day. Every single bank will be in that line tapping in to XRP. They will have meetings with Ripple. They will be talking to Ripple. They will want to utilize that service. And the question remains, why? Why would they want to? Well, it's because the financial system that we know of, the banking system that we know of, is all based on a monopoly system. These big banks control everything. The smaller, medium-sized banks, they have to go up the food chain and talk to those big banks, and that's a problem. They have to pay them. And when we look at that, right, that's where Ripple and XRP really come into play. And all of a sudden, everything changes all at once. Every single major bank is lined up. Every single bank wants to utilize this technology. That's why we're seeing such mass adoption right now from these big players like BlackRock, Fidelity, like these asset managers. They see the value already. And big banks also see the value. We have Citi. You know, the Citi CEO even told us like about tokenization technology and the technology behind the space on how it's reinventing the entire, dynamic of payments and finance. They're ready. But this is why we focus on specific use cases. When it comes to Metaco and Ripple, when it comes to XRP, those significant use cases are institutional DeFi. Okay? This is where institutional DeFi becomes a big deal. And the features of this, it's a very, very significant thing to mention, especially even with a lot of the developments around the XRPL, like the automated market maker, which is it's enhancing liquidity even more. It's making trading and financial activities even more efficient as well. Then you also have the native stablecoin. The stablecoin is a huge one because, again, now you have even more financial capabilities and efficient financial efficiencies as well. Outside of this, you also have the XLS66, which is lending and borrowing. This is going to be a big game changer as well. You can earn interest, you can lend and borrow all directly on the XRP ledger. The overall sentiment around XRP and even Ripple is institutional DeFi right now. This article here, Ripple's XRP ledger poised for a breakthrough in institutional DeFi, we know that this is the case because all of this pertains to it. What Ripple is trying to do here around the institutional grade space, whether that be through custody services or not, it all leads back to one thing. Where is the XRP ledger in all of this? And for anyone out there that is saying, oh, the XRP ledger doesn't even mean anything to all of this, it doesn't matter. Guys, they are wrong. We know Ripple is hiring around institutional DeFi initiatives. And when you read this, it literally tells you that this is all around contributing to the XRP ledger. Within Ripple, RippleX's mission is to inspire and enable developers and institutions to collectively build the internet of value through contributions to open source protocol development, the XRP ledger ecosystem partnerships. As part of this mission, RippleX is increasingly investing in institutional DeFi, which is the application of blockchain technologies and protocols to tokenize financial assets, combined with appropriate regulatory and compliance guardrails. Institutional DeFi is poised to for massive adoption by the financial services industry, and Ripple is actively partnering with enterprises and institutions to develop solutions and use cases leveraging the XRP ledger and its native digital asset XRP. This is huge. Institutional DeFi is critical to our mission of global financial equity and growth, and we are looking for a dynamic and growth-oriented senior manager of business development to join the RippleX teams to drive adoption of institutional DeFi on the XRP ledger. This is a huge deal, and it's all focused on generating demand on the XRP ledger through partners, investors, specifically institutional investors, all around tokenized real world assets. We also have, tapping into DeFi initiatives, whether that be payments, financial use cases, things like that. Like, it's a huge deal. And it just goes to show you, right? It just goes to show you how big of a focus Ripple still has on the XRP ledger and why the XRP ledger is still a significant piece of the puzzle here. Again, institutional DeFi initiatives, institutional tokenization, it's all tied right back to the XRP ledger. And it's all going to benefit XRP in some way, shape, or form. And it's already starting. We're already at that stage. All we have to do is be a little bit more patient. But I truly believe that the long term here, that's where all of the money will be made. All of the money will be made once we have full-on utility, and I'm talking about mass adoption of utility tokens like XRP. We still need to get through the obstacle of regulations, but after that, that's when the new 1% will be made through these utility projects like XRP. And remember, it's so obvious right now, but so many people are doubting this. So many people are in disbelief that XRP will ever see a new all-time high, that XRP will even be valuable, that XRP will even break $1 again. So think about where we are at right now in this market. Think about where we are at right now in this cycle. It is going to be extremely rewarding for those that have been so patient, that still are patient and still see the vision here. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.